Welcome to the latest edition of Bigin's Masterclass. During this session, we'll be exploring how you can build your very own integrations and customize Bigin using our very powerful developer console. This session will be handled by Satish, an engineering lead here at Team Bigin. He'll be walking you through and giving you a live demo of the developer console's tools and capabilities. Before we jump into the webinar, I just wanted to let you all know that if you have any questions or queries, you can post them in the Q&A box. Apart from that, we'll have a dedicated Q&A session towards the end of the webinar where we'll be clarifying any and all of your queries. We'll also be posting polls during the session, so I request you all to actively engage with it. Now, I'll be handing things over to Satish.
Hi all, good afternoon. Thank you, Harini, for the brief introduction of what we are going to do today. So yeah, this is Satish. I'm actually with Bigin for the past 7 years, and I'm one of the engineering leads in Bigin. So yeah, today's agenda. So as you all know, this developer console is one of the promising areas in Bigin where you can build custom solutions on top of the default features that Bigin actually provides. So in a business, we cannot actually normalize, or you cannot categorize, or you cannot say like all the use cases will be present or will be provided by a CRM system. Any business will have a custom workflow. They will have a custom automation. They will have custom use cases to be built on top of the default functionalities that any product gives you. So this developer console is the one-stop solution that you can go to build custom solutions on top of all the default features that Bigin provides you. So by default, Bigin is the most powerful tool that any SMB businesses can use to automate their daily tasks and to migrate from their Excel spreadsheets and documents. On top of that, if you have any custom use cases that has to be solved, it can be solved with the help of the developer console. So today, our agenda is to have a brief overview of all the key functionalities and the most powerful features of this developer console. And the best part, we are not going to take it in a in a plain PPT mode. We'll be having a live demo. For example, we'll be taking a real-time example or an integration, and we'll be explaining the key concepts, and we'll be doing the real demo of the functionality as well. So you will get a better idea of how that component or that particular use case works with respect to developer console. So I hope the screen is actually visible to all. So this is the overview of what we are going to do today. Yeah, so let's get started. So an overview, why this developer console is needed for Bigin. So as I already told, there may be custom use cases that each businesses need to implement on top of, on top of any product. So this space is where you can create, manage, and publish your custom extensions for Bigin. So it's not like that you're building only for your organization. You can solve a common, a common integration problem, or you can support a commonly asked use case in Bigin, which is not defaultly available in Bigin. So you can build those and bundle it. You can publish in Marketplace, and you can make the Bigin users use that. You can actually provide interactive elements inside Bigin. It's not like only the components that we build can be actually bundled inside Bigin. You can actually build custom UI. You can embed that inside Bigin using this developer console. You can integrate external applications. It's not like Bigin integrates with all the applications. We have a specific set of integrations we have provided by default. Along with that, if you feel like, this integration will be more powerful for Bigin, you yourself can build an integration with the use of this developer console. You can hit external APIs, webhooks, and then bundle it and give it to the Bigin users. On top of it, you can be a partner for Bigin. You can sell products with this Bigin developer console. You can build an integration. You can build a branded solution with custom functionalities on top of Bigin, and that can also be sold via the Bigin Marketplace. So it's not like you have to do this free for the customers. If you feel that a particular use case will be used for many users of Bigin, you can definitely sell it in a Bigin Marketplace. Yeah. So the big question, where do we begin? So we have so much scope with this Bigin developer console. So the very first question that comes up in our mind, where do we begin this? Yeah, the answer to that. We have a dedicated space where we get started with this whole process. So the first thing that you have to do, you have to have an account, or you need to create a workspace in developer.bigin.com. So let's do that parallelly. I have signed up with Zoho. So this is the screen that you will see when you land in developer.bigin.com. So the first step will be to create a workspace. So maybe I'll name this as Bigin Dev Console Webinar as the workspace name, and I'll just click on create. So this is the entry point for building your own topping. So this extensions is something that is being termed by the outside applications. We term it as toppings inside Bigin. So going forward, I will actually name this extensions as toppings in the upcoming slides. Yeah, so the workspace is created successfully. Yeah, this is my workspace. I mean, you can be part of multiple workspaces. You cannot be the owner of that, but I mean, other developers can go into their workspace and they can invite you. So, I mean, you can create only one workspace, but others can create it, and they can invite you to their workspaces. Yeah, this is the workspace that we created now. And the next simple step, what to do? Yeah, I mean, say for example, for today's meeting, what we will do is we'll actually build a lightweight integration between Bigin and MailChimp. Yeah, I mean, MailChimp you would have known. It's a powerful product for sending email campaigns. You can manage contacts there. Everything around that contact you can maintain there. So what we will do is we'll actually develop a topping which focuses on the integration between Bigin and MailChimp. So the next step, what do you do? We'll actually, we actually decide what you are going to build, and you click on the create toppings button, and you will be prompted to enter the name and the description for that particular topping. So I will name this as Bigin MailChimp integration, and I will give a description like this topping focuses on the integration between Bigin and MailChimp, providing contextual data within Bigin. Yeah, I think this is fine for demo. So let's click on save. Yeah, so my pop-up is blocked, so no issues. I will click on the edit button. So you will see two buttons here. So one will take you to the actual platform where you can build custom components on Bigin, and the second part is just like an information to you about the versions and all. So it's like a meta information. The description, the logo, everything will be maintained here. So this is the core point where, when you click on this edit button, you'll be taken to another console. This is where you will be building your actual topping. So our use case for today is Bigin MailChimp integration. We'll see one by one what we are going to do. Okay, the first step is done. Before jumping into the technical aspects of that, I'll just give an overview of the availability of this developer console. So, almost all of you would have known this, but still just emphasizing the fact here. Bigin developer console is currently available only in the US data center. So you need to have an account in US data center. But yeah, you will have a question now, like, if we are in other DCs and all, what will we do? So this is a temporary, this US DC, stickiness is actually a temporary drawback, or we are actually working on supporting this to other DCs. The work item is currently actively, taken upon, and maybe in the next 6 to 8 months, we'll have this supported in all the data centers. So if currently you are not a part of US data center, no worries. You can actually contact the Bigin support team, support@bigin.com. We will surely help you out in creating an account in US data center. But the primary point, what I wanted to emphasize here is, even though you develop the toppings in USDC, you can sell it across all the DTs. I mean, it's not like the topping will work only in USDC. The development is actually restricted only to the USDC. But once the topping is completed, you can bundle it. And while submitting to marketplace, you can submit to all the marketplaces, all the DC marketplaces, and all DC users can use that. Okay. So other DC's support is actively being worked on, and you can expect by this year in all the in all the data centers. Yeah, before getting started, let's have a short poll. Yeah, the first poll was about how would you describe your experience with Bigin Developer Console? Yeah, okay, 73%, about 70% have told like we are just getting started, wish me luck. Yeah, this is the sweet spot, I guess. So this webinar will be, it'll be a great booster for you. You will get, you won't be a beginner after this webinar. We'll have this recording, we'll have this code snippet shared across to you. You will have a brief idea, and we'll be also having, many follow-up webinars also. So don't worry, we are with you. We'll build this Bigin MailChimp integration today with the, with the components in Bigin Developer Console. Okay, before we start, we have one more question. We have given one more poll, a quick poll before we get started. What's your biggest challenge you have faced while using the Bigin Developer Console? Is it like understanding APIs and webhooks, setting up integrations, or debugging and testing my code, or customizing UI with buttons and other components? So we'll have a just quick 1 minute poll on this, and we'll get started. We'll also publish the results, right away, once the poll is over. Okay. Yeah, so majority is with, yeah, as we expected, it's around integrations and connections, and the second one in the list is customizing UI with buttons. Yeah, we totally understand. We'll have that covered today. So yeah, so let's get started with the the developer console. So before we dig deep into this, I just want you to I just want to introduce the Sandbox environment, where this is considered as a playground for this topping development. So, when you are developing a topping, you need an environment where you can actually test the topping if it works. So it's not like you develop the topping, you install in your actual production account. If there is an issue, in the code, or or in the logic that you have written in that particular topping, it can actually corrupt your production data. So this is not what we want you to do. The production data, it should be, it should be the last place where you actually test the topping. So to help the developers to test the toppings extensively before trying this in the production environment, we have this Sandbox environment set up. Like, it's actually a replica of your Bigin, actual production account, but it is not, it will not have any data that you have in the production environment. You can go into the Sandbox environment, you can create any, number of records, you can create custom buttons, you can create custom related lists, you can actually test it from end to end. Once you're confident that your code works fine in this Sandbox environment, you can then bundle it, and you can install in your actual, production account. So yeah, this is just an overview. This PPT is, this slide gives an overview of why this Sandbox has to be used and why this is important, because your production data is not something that you can play upon. So it's the actual customer data. So we don't want you to take risk on that production data. So always use your Sandbox account, test it completely, and then go to the, production environment. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, so as per the poll, this is the area that most of you have faced difficulties. So that's why this slide is on the top of the list. Before going into any component, we have kept the slide on the first, because for any type of integration that you are going to build with this developer console, you need a connection and you need to hit APIs for any type of integration, whether it be a commonly available product or is your own native application. You will have some kind of authorization with you. Okay, so this developer console should handle it. It should be able to hit APIs and give you the intended results, right? So yeah, so our use case today, as we already told, is Bigin MailChimp integration. So what we will do first of all is we will actually, okay, so these are two different products, and to get the data from these products, you need to hit their APIs, and both Bigin and MailChimp have their own API documentations. So if you go into Bigin API documentation, you will be having the list of API that are exposed. Likewise, we'll have for MailChimp also. So I have taken some samples from the APIs of both the products, and I will show how this API is being hit. So the first step for hitting any API is to create a connection. So this connection is, in simple terms, I will tell you. So for Bigin as well as MailChimp, you will have, under the hood, they will be following some protocols to authorize you. Terms like you would have heard this OAuth 1, OAuth 2, API key. We have this, various kind of headers that you need to set to authorize the request. So using this connection, so this is powered by Zoho Deluge. So if you are using this connections for hitting APIs, you need not worry about anything. You need not worry about, the token that is created. You need not worry if the token is expiring. You need not worry, about, if the token is expired, you have to regenerate it every 1 hour. All those parts will be taken care by the, by this Zoho Deluge connection itself. You just need to tell us what are the scopes that you need to bind in this connection. So, okay, a bit for information about the scopes. So say, for example, you need to get the data, from Bigin, you need the contacts data. So each API will have a scope defined. For example, if you go into this Bigin APIs, if I go into records API, so you will have get records. So in the API itself, we would have given, like, for this API, what are the scopes you need. So if you need to hit this API, you need to bind the connection with Zoho Bigin.modules.contacts.all. So only if a connection is authorized with this scope, you'll be able to hit the API. So what I will do is, this is the screen where you create connections, and to make it easier for you, what we have done is we have many default services added in this developer console. So these services are these are actually the most popularly used products, and we have actually written the logic to handle their handle their connections and authorizations. So what you can do is you can directly go into and search for Bigin. Just click on Bigin, give a user-friendly name. I will give it as Bigin connection, and I will search for, so this MailChimp, it's entirely revolves around the contacts model. So what I will do is I will search for this contact scope, and I will get the full access for contacts. Apart from that, we have Bigin variables also. So it needs, I will tell you in the upcoming slides what that is used for. So I will get the settings thing also. What I will do is I will click on create. So this will take me to a screen where you will be asked for which Bigin account you need to authorize this. So as I already told, we have to test everything with the Sandbox environment. So I will choose the Sandbox account, and I will click on submit. So here you will clearly see what this DRE is asking the permission from your account. So using this connection, the stopping can only read, create, update, and delete contacts data. It cannot access deals data. It cannot access the organization data. It cannot pull in the products in your account. Nothing can be done. Only this permission that you are giving can be done by the particular topic. And this is for the settings part. I will explain in the upcoming slides. So I will click on accept. Yeah, that's it. The connection is ready. You will get a sample code how to invoke an API, and you need not worry anything about the token creation, how it is being set in the API request and all. It will be entirely taken care by the Bigin Dev console. So I will quickly create for MailChimp. So MailChimp is also a default service. I'll quickly go in. I will type in as MailChimp connection. Yeah. One second. Okay, I will quickly log into MailChimp. I'm having some issues with that MailChimp account. I will just quickly log in, but let's move on to the next part. So, this is the first part for hitting any APIs. You will have to create a connection. Only then you can hit an API. So we will have a quick poll. The next poll is related to this. I just wanted to know if you're hitting APIs, what kind of authentication that you have used so far. So, we have many types of authentications. You have OAuth, you have AP key authentication, you have this AWS thing, everything is there. So have you used any of these for integrations, what you have used so far? Yeah, I can see many of you have used OAuth 2. Yeah, OAuth 2 is the standard protocol that is being used nowadays. APK, yeah, it's still being used, but this OAuth 2 is still more secure. Yeah, good. Yeah, we'll actually stop here. Yeah, so majority has used OAuth, and the next section is actually not aware of this OAuth part. Yeah, simple terms, this connection is just to authorize the API that you are hitting. So no product will allow you to just hit, just to hit the APIs as such. To hit an API, you need an authorization, and based on the underlying authorization that each API is supporting, we will have that covered in this developer console. So the first part is done. We have created a connection for this Bigin and MailChimp. Okay. Yeah, let's move on to the next part. So we'll create the first component here. What we will do is we will create a button. Okay. So I will select the contacts module. I will name this as push to MailChimp. Okay. We'll have a button to push data from Bigin to MailChimp. And I will keep this in the view page. So view page is this one. So this is the Sandbox account. View page is this page where you will have a detailed view of the contact. Okay. So I will do that. Yeah, this is the important part. So buttons. So if you create a button, that button will appear in the place that you have actually mentioned. So we have these many places: create page, you can edit page, you can list it in the list. Everything can be done. So the most important part is what you want that button to do. So you want a you have a custom logic like what we have now. You have, if you want to push a contact from Bigin to MailChimp, that's a custom logic. You can write that using the this Zoho deluge function. Or if you want to invoke a URL, plain URL, then that can be done. Or if you want to embed a custom UI itself, you want an interactive UI to be embedded inside Bigin, that can also be done. So we'll go with the first one because we are pushing data to MailChimp. Okay, so push to MailChimp. I will name this as push to MailChimp. Okay, so okay, I will do one thing. I will just show you how this is inside Bigin. I'll just return it as success and I will save it to button. Now I will show the power of the Sandbox account. You need not do anything. You just need to refresh this. Yeah, that's it. This button is available there. So you need not publish this, topping and install in your actual production account. You just need to create in the developer console. Just go to your Sandbox account, just reload it. Yeah, that's it. The custom function is actually returning a message from the topic. Okay, so let's go a bit deep now. Okay, so you have a param to this function. Okay, you have a param like contact. Okay, this contact, what happens is it will have another, it will have something like this. I will show you. I will get the contact ID now. So contact is actually a map here. I will get contacts.id. Okay. Yeah. What happens is if you click on this button, if you click on this push to MailChimp button, what from Bigin what we will do is we'll be pushing this contact ID as a param to this function. Okay. So using that, I have a custom snippet also ready here. I will do this. I will just copy paste here for the sake of saving time. Yeah. See here. So this is the first part. You have to get the contact ID. So the second part is to get the data from Bigin. Okay, so as I already told, this is where the connections come in picture. Okay, so to hit an API, you need you need some authorization, and that is taken care by this connections. The second part is to hit the API. So to make it easier for you, you need not actually go into the Bigin's API documentation to actually search for the API and do that. We have written some inbuilt DRE integration functions using which you can directly invoke that function instead of hitting the invoke URL task or you directly hitting API. You just call these inbuilt functions. So our use case now is to get a record by ID. I will go there. Yeah, here is given the syntax zoho.bigin.get record by ID. Okay, so we have an auto suggestion also zoho.bigin.get record by ID. Yeah, module. What module we are going to hit? It's contacts. It's expecting an ID. Yeah, I will pass the ID here. So this is for custom parameters or headers. So we need not pass anything now. I'll just pass a plain map there. And the fourth parameter is the connection name. So I will just copy paste from the connection. The Bigin connection. The name is here. I will give the connection name here. Okay, for now I will just comment this. Okay, now we are going to test this code if this is working or not. I'll put an info. So this is for logging. It will actually print the output that is given by this function. So the beauty of this is you can actually execute and test it here itself in the developer console. Okay, so I'll click on execute. Okay, I will now I have taken the actual contact ID and I'm giving submit. Okay, so let's see if it, yeah, see. So what I've done is I have taken the param from the user. I mean, here I've actually hard coded it. I've given that ID and I've straightforward hit a API. So you actually do not want to know what API which is being hit under the this function. You just need to use the inbuilt DRE functions and it will take care of all these. You just need to give in the data and the Bigin connection name. Okay, so the first part is over now. You have taken the data. So what I will do now is I will push this to MailChimp. Okay, so we have taken the data. I will name this as Bigin contact data. I'm storing it here. And from the Bigin contact data, I'm taking the full name and the email address and the status which is being expected by the MailChimp. So now what we will do is we will actually authorize the MailChimp account. Okay, just quickly I will Yeah, I have allowed access. I've already the MailChimp account also open here. Yeah, it's authorized now. So I'll quickly go into this. I will copy the connection name and I will put it here. That's it. Yeah. So now let's see if this is being pushed to MailChimp. Okay. I will just rename this as Bigin webinar at gmail.com so that we can easily find it. Webinar. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if this works. So what we are doing is we are getting the contact ID. We are getting the data from Bigin. This is an actual API that's being hit. So using the data, I'm constructing some request body for this MailChimp API using the MailChimp connection name, and I am going to execute this. Yeah. So let's copy the function again. The contact ID again. I'm just putting it. Yeah. Let's see if this has actually been propagated to MailChimp. Okay, 1 second. We'll just info this. We'll just print what is being printed by MailChimp. I'm executing it again. Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. I missed a small logic here. So this is begin contact data is we'll be getting it in an array. So let's execute now. One second. Begin contact get of data. Yeah, it's pushed now. Yeah, sorry for the confusion. I just missed a line there. So now it should, yeah, now it's pushed. Bang, you have created a lightweight integration between Bigin and MailChimp. Right, so let's see, let's save this to a button. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this to the button and click on save. Now let's test this on a new contact. Okay, I will create a new contact now. I'll name this as Zilker. I will name it as Zilker at webinar.com. I will click on save. Yeah, you have a push to MailChimp button here, right? So I'll just click it on. Okay, now the function has executed and we have received a success. So let's see if the sync has happened now. Yeah, bang. That's it. So this is what we are what we are talking about. Like you can write your own custom logic. You can integrate with any application. If you know what kind of authorization you need to have to hit their APIs, you can do anything. You can link any application you want. You can pull the data from that application. You can push the data to that application. So this custom buttons power, you can write any piece of custom code on top of this custom button, and you can use this Zoho scripting language to do it. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the next components in Bigin developer console. Yeah, the next thing is we have a related list. So this is predominantly an action, right? So I mean, what MailChimp is used for. MailChimp is used for sending campaigns to multiple contacts. So what we will do is we will actually create a related list here. Okay, so I'll create a related list. I will name this as campaigns, MailChimp campaigns. Okay, so okay, so related list is predominantly used for displaying contextual data inside Bigin. So for example, you have a contact synced from Bigin to MailChimp, and in MailChimp you have actually sent some campaigns and emails to this particular contact. So if you want to see that information, I mean, you can at any point switch to MailChimp and see that data, but the real power of integration is to avoid switching off applications. If your application is integrated with Bigin, then there should not be a reason for you to go back to the application to see some data. So contextually, you should be able to display data within Bigin. So this related list comes into picture for that. So what you can do is, since you have this data synced in MailChimp, you can pull that data from MailChimp and show that data within the Bigin itself. Okay, so from any third-party service or any internal database that you have, you can pull the data and show it as a table in Bigin. And only expectation from you can I mean, you can write a dilute script code to do that. The only expectation from you is to return that response in the format that we have shown you. Okay, so we expect this in an XML format. For each row, you have to you have to construct that data, and then I mean, you have to respond from that custom function. If that is returned, we will actually render the table in Bigin UI. Okay, so I will give a real-time example. Okay, so first I will do what I will do is I will just hard code a response. Okay, so that you will have a clear picture. So let's see here. I have a contact name field, a contact phone field. So as I mentioned, so you have to reply. You have to give the reply in an XML format that we expect. Okay, so I have constructed that here, and I am returning that XML format from this function. I just save and close. Okay, now the related list is saved. Now I'll go here. As I already said, just do a refresh. No other installation, no other bundling, anything in the Sandbox account. Okay, see, the related list has appeared, and the data that you passed from the related list has actually shown as a table within Bigin. Okay, so yeah, now let's jump to a real use case. Okay, I have a custom snippet ready with me. So for the same use case that I told you now. So I will try to pull the campaigns of a particular email from MailChimp. Okay, so I will replace the hard-coded code here with the real code. Okay, hard-coded code. So yeah, this line is actually the same. We already saw in custom button flow. You will have the parameter anyway passed to you as a, you will have the contact ID passed to you as a, parameter here. So, this is also the same. You get the data from Bigin using the Bigin integration tasks. And I'll quickly change the connection AP names. So I'll just quickly explain what we are doing here. So I am getting the email from Bigin. I am giving that email. I am using that email to hit an API to MailChimp to get the campaigns, active campaigns. I am getting that campaigns response. I am looping it. I am creating the structure that is expected by Bigin and returning that response. So if there are no campaigns, I'll just give a plain response as no campaigns available. Okay. So I have a record in MailChimp for which campaigns are already sent. I will use that for now. Okay. So I will just pull that. Yeah, this is the email for which campaign is already there. So what I will do is I will just update this email here for this contact. Okay, so hope this code is clear for you. What we are doing is simple. Okay, you get the contact ID, get the contact details from Bigin, use the email from that contact, give that email to MailChimp API, get the campaigns data from MailChimp. With the response, construct the XML format that we are expecting to display a table inside Bigin. Okay, simple as that. I mean, we'll be sharing the snippets, these help docs, everything to you, so don't worry. So I'll just save this. One second. Sorry, guys. I just messed up with some semicolon. Sorry, guys. I just messed up some colon here. So, I mean, due to the time constraints, let's move on to the next one. But I mean, the snippet that I showed you, that is also doing the same. It is actually real time. In real time, it's taking the data from campaigns and it's just populating it, and that is being shown inside Bigin. So, I mean, what I wanted to emphasize is it's not like you can only pull data and push data to any other third-party services. It's like you can build your own, related list inside Bigin, and that will be shown as a table within Bigin itself. So, users need not switch their tabs to, the other application where you are actually, you are actually integrating with Bigin. So, yeah, this is where this custom related list come into picture. So let's move on to the next one. Yeah, the next big thing in this developer console is to automate some things. Okay, so let's skip to this workflow part. So this workflow is, yeah, I think if you are using Bigin, you will be familiar with this workflows. The thing that I wanted to emphasize in this developer console part is these two workflow actions. These are not by default given in Bigin. But it is actually supported in Bigin Developer Console. So webhooks and functions. So webhooks is something which you use for this data sync part. So say, for example, now we saw this push to MailChimp button, right? So this is something that I have to manually do. So the user has to go into the contact to push this data to MailChimp. You need to, say he has 100 contacts. If that 100 contacts has to be synced to Bigin, to MailChimp, he has to go into this individual contact and he has to click on this push to MailChimp button. Yeah, I mean, you can ask if that button can be placed in this list view. Yeah, it's surely doable. You can, keep a, custom button here. You can select it and push it. But but that is still a manual effort by the users. If you want to automate that, this webhook, what we are talking about, if you want to automate those things, for example, if a contact is created inside Bigin, you want that contact to be automatically pushed to MailChimp, you can do, you can come here, you can create a workflow rule, you can write a custom function as an action to it. Okay, I'll just quickly do this push to MailChimp workflow. I'll just explain both these webhook and functions in the single workflow. Okay, so what I will do is, yeah, I'll choose this function, push to MailChimp, display name. Okay, sorry, MailChimp. I create it. Sorry. Okay, what you can do here is we have this logic now inside this custom button, right? You just copy paste that. Yeah, we have this logic here, right? This is a manual intervention process, right? You just put it here. Okay. Void function. Okay, return. There's no return statement. Yeah, that's it. So now what you can do is, I'll just save this. What we will do is save the workflow, and let's see if this is working by default. Okay, so I will go into the Sandbox account. So last time what we did is we actually created a contact. We went into that contact, we clicked on this push to MailChimp, and we pushed the data to MailChimp. So now what we'll do is we'll just create a contact straight away. So this is workflow contact. Let's name that like that. Workflow contact at gmail.com. Okay, so we have the workflow for create. So this workflow will get executed as and when a contact is created or edited. So I'll just click on save. Yeah, now the contact is created in Bigin. So let's see if this workflow has executed and this is pushed to, yeah, see? Now the logic that you wrote on top of Bigin inside a custom button which needed a manual intervention, the same code you actually saw. I didn't change a single line, right? I just copied that code. I just pasted into the workflow custom action. This custom function, and it worked like a charm. See, so if you need to push data to some other service, you can come and create a workflow. You can automate these things. You need not worry about the customers has to do this each time by clicking on a custom button. You can automate this. So any logic can be written here. If you want to modify the data, if you want to sync multiple records, if you want to create multiple records in Bigin, if you want to create multiple records in MailChimp, anything, any custom logic that you want can be written in this custom function. Okay, so I will quickly show a demo of this webhook also. So webhook is you have a third-party service, you have a server running on your own, you want something to be notified there. Okay, so instead of a custom logic, you want a notification from Bigin. So whenever a contact is created, you want to be notified that a contact is being created in Bigin. Okay, so I will name this as contact notify. This is a post this thing. So for this particular demo, I will just take a help from this online it's an open source something like this site will host a URL, open URL. You can use this URL to as a URL to notify. Look at this. I just copy this URL. If I paste it, you'll get a request here that someone has hit this API. Okay. So to simulate that third-party server, we don't have a third-party server now. I will just, let's say this webhook.site is a server. Okay, it is actively listening for incoming request, and this is the API that we have hosted. What I will do is I will just say, whenever a contact is created, notify this server. That is contact as created. Okay, so while notifying, you definitely will need some data of that contact, right? So it's not like, if this notification has to be sent, it should not be like a contact is created in Bigin. It should be like a contact with that ID or some basic information like first name, last name, email, or any other key information that your system needs. We have that covered here. So what you can do is, if you want the email, we'll be listing the fields here. So email will be sent. Next, if you want the contact ID to be sent, we'll have that param. Contact ID is there. Let's have one more thing. First name. Okay, the first name. So what we will do is we will notify this this server along with the data that you are passing here. So these module data will be passed to that API. Apart from that, you want any static parameters. Say you want the source of this. So you can hard code it as Bigin. Okay, well, it's not like it will change for every contact. It's like, say for example, your server wants to know the source of this API request. So you want a static parameter saying this API notification has come from Bigin. So you can go in and define a custom parameter and say like this is coming from Bigin. User-defined parameters is still advanced version. You can actually define a JSON format here. Like for example, if first name has to come like this, we'll have this merge field supported, something like this. So you will get the you will get the notification along with this JSON format. So if your system is expecting in a specific format, you can build that particular JSON format here, and this webhook will take care of that also. Okay, so what we will do is I will put a JSON format. I will send the phone number now as a JSON thing. Okay, so I'll phone number. Oh yeah, we have this mobile. Okay, and I will name this as JSON. Okay, and I will save this. Okay, it's expecting description. One second. Bigin JSON. Yeah, I've associated it. I've saved it. Okay, so this is a live server looking for incoming request. Okay, so let's go back to the sandbox. Yeah, the sandbox is helping us a lot today to save a lot of time. So let's create another contact. Now we will name this webhook contact. Okay, so and this just for the sake of easy tracking. So webhook contact@gmail.com. So let's see if this is working. Bang. See, the workflow has executed. It has actually called this server, this virtual server. It has called this virtual server and see the data that we are passing. Email has come, the first name has come, the contact ID has come, the source that we hard coded it as Bigin, that has also come. The phone, okay, sorry, I didn't give this phone number field. One second. I'll just create it quickly again with the phone number field also. Webhook again, with the email. For mobile, yeah, mobile, and the first name. Okay, I'll save it again. Yeah, does it again receive a request? See, now the email is there, webhook@yahoo.com, the first name Satish, the contact ID, the source, and the JSON phone number 123456778. So this helps you when you have a third-party service and you want to get notified. So instead of this URL, right, this URL, you need to give the URL of your server and Bigin will take care of notifying it to you. So this is something which is not, supported in Bigin by default, but you can use these two concepts. Like you can use this to build your own custom logic and make it more powerful. You can do any sort of sync or notification, anything of your choice. Okay, so let's move on to the next big thing. Okay, so let's jump on to, so far what we have seen is we have actually written custom code using this custom button and workflows. So what if you can embed your own custom UI inside Bigin? For example, if you click on this button, if you want this button, I will create another button. Okay, I'll quickly create another button for contacts itself. MailChimp UI. Name it as MailChimp UI. Place it same. And this time I will invoke a widget. Widget is like you can create your own JavaScript HTML pages. You can create your own project, get that hosted inside Bigin, and you can render that within Bigin itself. For example, say for example, you want a form, you want a custom form to be embedded inside Bigin, and you want the user to key in the data for the form. So in that case, you have the full control. What you can do is you can create that, the page that you want to embed inside Bigin. You can use HTML, Ember, anything your choice. You can create that pages, bundle it, upload it into this developer console, and you can define that as an action for a custom button. Or if you want this UI to be rendered inside a relator list, you can do that. Once you do that, that will be rendered by itself inside Bigin. Okay, so let's first, I will give an overview of how this thing actually works. Okay, so if you have an external server, if you have a server running and you have your HTML code, JS code being served from there, then it's totally fine. You can just key in that URL here. The URL you want to embed inside Bigin. But if you don't want to do that, if you want Bigin to host your code, everything like that, what you can do is you can take help from Bigin's Zoho. Sorry, you have this extension development toolkit. Okay, so using that, you can actually create your own JavaScript HTML pages and get that hosted inside Bigin. Okay, so we have this widget thing. One second, I will just show you that. For building your custom UI components, we have that listed here. Yeah, create widgets. Oops, sorry, one second, I'm not able to copy this here. Oops, thank you, sorry. Yeah, you have this here. So you have two types of hosting. Like I said, external hosting, you can directly put in your URL. If you do not have an external server, don't worry, we'll have that covered. Okay, you can build your own widget here. You can build your own JavaScript code here and you can get that hosted here. It's a simple series of steps. You can get started. I mean, you need some basic things to be installed in your system. You need Node for this. I have already installed this Node. I have already installed this Zoho extension toolkit. I'll just quickly show you how we build this. Okay, so this is Zoho extension toolkit. So this is the syntax. First, we need to init and say for which product you want to create this. I mean, this widget. I'll choose Bigin. I will name this as MailChimp for Bigin widget. MailChimp for Bigin widget. So it's actually creating my project. Okay, so let's go into this and see if, yeah, this is the project that has been created by that Zoho extension development toolkit. Okay, so see, I use some basic commands. I mean, I don't want to go into the, I mean, let's say, sorry, one second. I mean, you have some prerequisites for this. I have done that already for the sake of this, I mean, demo. So, I mean, you have only a simple step, simple set of steps to get this running. So I have executed the commands. You will have a base structure ready by then. So, I mean, what you can do is you can build your custom HTML and JS codes within this. You can host it inside Bigin. Okay, so I already have a custom widget code with me. I'll just quickly create a new file here and save it as mailchimp.html, and I will save it inside downloads. Oops, I saved it in the downloads. I'll just copy that here into the, yeah, I paste it here. So what I do is I have the code ready now. I just need to go into that particular widget code. I have to execute a certain command, ZDT validate and ZDT pack. ZDT validate actually checks for console. I mean, these, I mean, what kind of, I mean, if you have any kind of syntax errors and all, it will actually check for that. Okay, so I have got a zip file here. So this zip file is actually what I'm talking about. So what we are doing here is we are actually building a custom HTML pages using the Bigin Developer Center's extension toolkit. So you need not host this HTML code anywhere. You will have the base structure created by this Bigin Developer Console itself. You need to create the custom HTML pages, what you want to have inside this folder, inside the app folder. You need to bundle it and you have to get ready with this zip. So this zip, what you do is you just go here, MailChimp widget. I will just upload this documents, MailChimp for this. Yeah, uploaded it. So we call this as connected app. So you can connect one external UI app. Okay. So you need not host this anywhere. I mean, you just need to upload the code. So I'll go back to this button, or maybe what I will do is I will create a related list. Okay. Mail. Oh, sorry. I will create a widget here. MailChimp create form contacts, and we have this named as MailChimp.html, right? Yeah. /MailChimp.html. So this is the URL for loading it. Okay. So you can see here. So this is the production URL, and this is the Sandbox URL. So we have this this ZET to run in our local. Okay. So see, this ZET takes care of hosting the code, and for testing it, as I already told, you need a Sandbox environment, right? For Sandbox testing, this will by default host this project in your local itself. Okay, so I'll just go here and I will see if this is up. I have clicked on ZET run. It should be up by now. Advance and proceed. Yeah, it's up now. So this form is hosted now. Okay, so with the help of ZET, I have hosted an app in your local within 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so now you have to, we have created a related list, and you have embedded the URL here, and you have clicked on save. Yeah, now let's go back to the Sandbox, the savior for today's demo. So let's go here and see if the UI is rendering. Yeah, we have one more thing here. See, bang. Okay, so this form can be embedded inside a button or in a related list. Okay, so this can be used if, I mean, for example, you have a field here like MailChimp audience, right? So this is not something that is in Bigin. So if you want this data to be keyed by the user, end user, you can have those fields, designed as a form. You can host it within Bigin, and you can put it as an action for a related list or in a button. You can host it in Bigin and do that. Okay. For this deluge thing, we have already discussed about this deluge integrations task, right? Zoho Bigin.get record by ID, Zoho Bigin. Create record and all. Likewise, if you want to hit any APIs, this form is not complete without say for example, you want the contact ID from this page. Okay, so I already have that. You would have used this network tab. I think, most of you are developers and you are familiar with this developer tab, right? So I have a debugger in place. Okay, so you will get an idea. Okay, so we have a JS SDK developed for Bigin, JavaScript SDK. Okay, so we have that knowledge base also hosted here. We have that in PPT also. You can have a look in that. The usage of this JS SDK. You have now this UI has to interact with the Bigin UI, because without it be useless. You have hosted a form. If you have hosted within a contact, you need at least the contact ID of that page, right? So see what I have done. I have injected that JS SDK, Bigin widget SDK, inside this form. And what happens is, once this page is loaded, we will actually throw an event to the form. See, this Zoho.embedded.on is something like an event that you have to register. All this is there in the knowledge base that is online. So once this page is loaded, we will throw an event. So this will contain from which module this is thrown. So see, page data. Page data is having from which module this is thrown and the entity ID. Okay. So just like Zoho Deluge, we have, here also you need not worry about the APIs. You need not worry what version we are using, what kind of APIs you need to hit. You need not worry about anything. You just need to hit the JS SDK function that we have exposed. Okay. So here what I've done, I have done a simple API call. Okay. I'm getting the data from Bigin. So this is actually passed on from Bigin to this form. I'm using that ID and I'm hitting a API to Bigin. I will clear this network tab. See now the API call goes. See, That's it. So you have hosted a form. If you need any data from the contacts module or from the, from the contact that you need to, you need to do anything on this form, that data is passed on by Bigin to this form, and using that form, you can write your own logic. There's no limitation in that. You can use any APIs of your choice. All this has been exposed as SDK functions, JavaScript SDK functions, right? So just like Zoho Deluge, where you use the scripting language to write custom logic, you can embed your own UI within Bigin. You can write your own custom logic. Just include the JS SDK that we have exposed. Using the JS SDK, you can hit any API of your choice, right? So this is with respect to widgets and Bigin JS SDK. Okay. So yeah, I think I have covered almost all the key aspects of this. I mean, there are still more things that need to be discussed. I mean, we have schedules, but I think these are self-explanatory. I just covered the most important aspects of this developer console. We'll be also having follow-up webinars. We'll be covering the, other important aspects also, but I have actually covered all the important aspects that you need to build an integration with any server, any application. Okay. So yeah, that being said, now we have created a topping. I have created a lightweight Bigin MailChimp integration. So what if I decide like, you need to make the Bigin users use this, because I see the potential here. Many users will be needing a campaign sending application for their CRM. So if a user is using Bigin, he will be needing a full-fledged campaign sending application. And we have Zoho campaigns. Apart from that, if they are using MailChimp, they can use this topping to integrate both of these applications, and they can see all the relevant data of MailChimp within Bigin itself, right? So if you feel you need to showcase your toppings, if you feel like this use case has much broader potential, it can help the Bigin users, you need not worry. We have a marketplace for that. You can be a partner for Bigin. You can submit the toppings to the Bigin Marketplace. We will have that reviewed, and everything is fine. If everything is fine, then that topping will be listed in Bigin Marketplace, and all the Bigin users can use it. You can publish it for free. If you want to levy a fee on them, it is also totally fine. Okay, so the next big question is, if you want to showcase your toppings to Bigin users worldwide, because we have users worldwide, right? So what you have to do, this is the Bigin Marketplace that I'm talking about. Okay, so as I already mentioned, this marketplace is actually there in all the data centers. So this is the US data center. Even if this developer console is actually restricted only in the US data center, this is actually supported across all DCs. So if this is needed for IN, this is India data center marketplace. So we have many toppings now listed. You have free toppings, you have paid toppings. I'll just show one of the paid toppings here. So see, so this is one of our partners who did a topping for Trade India. So this is a vendor who published it. And for pricing, yeah, see, so we have a monthly pricing and yearly pricing. So this money is paid by the Bigin users to the partners directly to you. So if you are a developer, you develop a topping, you publish in marketplace for a fee. This is actually collected from Bigin users and we give it to you. That's it. Right. Your job is to write custom use cases on top of Bigin. Just derive the use cases for which Bigin is needed. See which are the functionalities that can benefit the Bigin users. Just develop a topping, publish in marketplace, and you earn from here. Right. So this is where you publish the the toppings. Yeah, I think I have covered all the important features. I have given a small demo of these use cases. I have shown you what a marketplace is. And one more thing, I'll just show how do you submit. Okay, so this is our MailChimp integration that we did, right? So far what we have done is we have tested in our, our Sandbox account. So if you need this to be installed in your production account. So now we have tested all the functionalities here, right? So we can be confident. We can say that no data will be corrupted. what I will say is I will just go in and publish the first version. So this is just like the mobile app, right? So for each mobile app has their own version, and each version will have their own components. So I published the first version here. So this is a private version. Okay, so this is a private version. This can be installed in any production account. Okay, so this is not with any Sandbox account. Using this private URL, you can use this, you can share this to any of your users. In the initial stages, if you want to take a feedback from them, like how this is working, or if all the functionalities are fine, or if your users are expecting more features, to get that tested, what you can do is you can actually share this directly with your users. Okay, so what I will do is I have created a production Bigin account. I paste this here, URL. So this will actually ask, okay, so this is a topping which is developed by this particular user. Do we want to install it? It'll ask for which users. I will just select for all users. That's it. So the connections that you created, it will be shown inside Bigin. It's just the same. Only thing is you are installing this topping right into the production account. That's so all the related list, the custom buttons that you created, everything will be here in the production account. See, MailChimp campaigns are coming. The create form. Okay, this is still in what's the installation. Installation is not complete now. Once installation is complete, it will render. See, so installation is complete. So this is shown here. You have this custom button here. This execution will come. You have two open connections to authorize. So same like you will be authorized to. You'll be asked to authorize the connections and proceed further. So within a span of 30 to 40 minutes, I have created a real-time integration between Bigin and MailChimp. This is not a hard-coded data that I'm showing. Real-time, we have hit to and fro APIs between Bigin and MailChimp. We have transferred data between the two applications. Okay, so this is the first thing. You create a private URL. The next thing, if you want this to be published in the marketplace, just go here. There's a submit to marketplace button here. Just click on that. So let's say your name is Zilka. Just publish it. Yeah. So once this is done, you will be prompted into a next set of steps where you will be giving more details about your topping. Okay, so you need to upload logo images. You need to give some screenshots. You need to give some descriptions, some taglines, tags, everything that will make your topping easy to understand, because you need to explain what this topping does, right? So all that information has to be key in here. And once you click on submit, we will get a request from your end to review this. Once this is reviewed, it will be published in this Bigin Marketplace. Okay, so that's it from the marketplace and developer console side. With this webinar, we just needed to inform you about some exciting features on the way. These features are targeted just for, in the initial stages we saw, most of the developers who joined today are, just like beginners, and you need some, some kind of push from our end to get this started. Okay. So we totally understand that. So what we have done is we have come up with a templates model. Okay, so now we have created some components like custom button, related list, workflow, something like that, right? So similarly, say for example, if you want to create a topping for SMS integration. Okay, so what we have done with this templates is we have actually captured all the components. For example, if this is an SMS use case, if you are going to integrate SMS vendor with Bigin, most probably what you will do is you will have a button. It will say, send SMS. Okay. In the send SMS button, what you will do is you will create a custom function. In that custom function, what you will do is you hit the API to that SMS vendor, and you will actually send an SMS from that vendor, right? So we have categorized each of these use cases, and what we have planned to do is, for if your use case actually falls broadly inside these, inside the categories that we have listed. This is not a static list. This is an ever-growing list. For the first cut, we'll be actually releasing this. Okay. So if you are creating a topping for invoices, we know for an invoice topping, what are the components? For this use case, what are the basic components that is needed to create the topping? So what we will do is, once you click that, we will create these components by default. Okay, so this is the new page that is going to come up. For example, if you're creating a topping for invoices, okay, if you click on invoices, or say for example, you have an SMS here, right? So if you click on this SMS thing, and if you click on use this template, what we will do is, when the topping is created, during the creation time itself, we will create the custom buttons needed for that. We will create the custom related list needed for that. We will create the signals. We will create the workflow. We will create the custom functions. So all the basic components that is needed for your topping will be created by this topping template flow. The only thing that you need to do is you have to write the logic there. All the basic components will be there by default. So this will surely help the beginners to understand. For an SMS use case, what are the components that is expected by the Bigin user? For an invoicing model, what is the the basic components needed by by that topping. So we will pre-create that. We will pre-populate all these components when the topping creation done itself. Okay, so the only thing that you need to do is you need to write the custom logic there. Okay, so this is an upcoming feature. You can expect this in the next couple of months. Apart from that, we saw this related list, right? We have this related list, and what we did is we embedded a custom UI inside that. We wrote custom we wrote custom dilute script inside that, and we rendered a table. So we want to make it much more powerful. So what we are doing is we are introducing related modules in Bigin. So this is like a storage. So apart from the standard modules, you can create modules of your choice. So for example, in the screen itself, you can see we created a module named invoice records. Okay, so if you are creating a topping for invoice, you surely need to show the invoices of that particular contact or deal inside Bigin. So instead of writing a custom script or custom UI inside Bigin, you can create a module inside Bigin. You can store the data inside that module, and you can create a related list for that. The best part is for this related list to be rendered, you did not do anything. In the configuration part, in this related module configuration part, everything will be taken care. This column customization will come by default. Which all columns to be shown, the count, the pagination, everything will be taken care by Bigin. So, this is something which is an enhanced version of this contextual data. Just now we saw how we pull this MailChimp, campaigns inside Bigin. Likewise, if you want to pull the invoices from some other service and put inside Bigin, inside a module, you can do that. And you can make that module data to be contextually visible inside Bigin itself. So this is yet another type of storing data inside a module inside Bigin, and also to show that contextual data, invoices of a particular contact inside Bigin. So this is also in the last stages of QA, and you can expect this in a couple of months. So we are also excited for this new features to be rolled out. We'll keep you posted regarding the the progress. Okay, so that's all from my end. I hope this webinar has helped at least for you to get for all the beginners out there. Now you will know the real potential. How to use a custom button, how to create a custom widget inside Bigin, how to write a custom function, how to create a connection, how to hit an API, how this Bigin default workflows and this SDKs help you to hit APIs. I think this demo would have shown you a better clarity, and those who are stuck up right now, those who have started and stuck up right now, you will have a better idea now. Yeah, that's it from my end. Thank you all for this time, and now we'll have a Q&A time. I'll just quickly move on to this the Q&A chat and see what are the questions asked there. Okay, the first question is about need topping widget support in mobile apps. It's I mean, we are actually in the process of supporting this related list in mobile, which I mean, its development has started, I mean, a month ago. I cannot commit an ETA, but I mean, this support is actually under development. All the widgets that you see in web, all the, I mean, all the custom related lists that you are seeing inside Bigin web is to be supported in Bigin mobile also. So you will soon receive an update regarding that. So the next question is regarding the contact module used here. Is it cloned from another Zoho app? Are you referring to the contact module of the Sandbox? I mean, it's not like you. I mean, we have cloned anything here. So the contact module that I showed you is a default module of Bigin. So what in the demo, what I have done is I have just pushed a contact from Bigin to MailChimp. This contact is not something that I've taken from another. What's a Zoho app? It's a default module of Bigin. We can maintain, and I mean, you can track the, the entire life cycle of contacts in Bigin CRM. So I mean, this is just another default module of Bigin. Could you please send the recording on our email ID to help us understand technique? Yeah, sure. We'll have this recording there. It will be sent across. Is it possible to filter the related list UI using UI? Yeah, this is a great question, right? If you are going to build a related list using the dilute scripting path that I showed you, it's not possible because it's a static. I already explained we need the response to be in a particular XML structure. Only that will be rendered. If you are building your own UI, if you are building your own widget, then you will have the power to give filtering support there. But apart from this, we have this related modules that I lastly showcased, right? There everything comes up. I mean, you can sort the data. You can filter the data. You can customize the columns. You can do everything. So I mean, if you're going by the related modules path, everything will be taken care by the Bigin itself. But for now in production, what you can do is you can build your own widget, and inside the widget you can do this filtering and all. The next question: when we need to display some data coming from third-party application APIs using custom UI and when we need to display some data coming from third-party application APIs using custom UI and import in Bigin? Data coming from third-party application using custom UI and import in Bigin. This is a question from Shreya. I'm just not able to get the full idea what he's expecting. When we need to display
data from another third-party app in Bigin.
Okay, so are you expecting something like you want to build a custom UI and you need to display that data? I mean, the third party's data, you need to put it in a custom UI and show it. Yeah, this is doable. I mean, we showcase this custom related list, right? So if that is a contextual data, if you want to show this inside a deal or contact or company, you create a custom related list. You create that widget. You can create your own widget. You can, you can create a form, or if you want to, create a list view, you can do that. You can pull the data from, from any third party. You create your UI, just host it inside Bigin, and you can create a custom, custom related list and host it. It's doable there. We are facing trouble to integrate Zoho Bigin with 99 acres website when we are using Bigin for real estate. This is from Jainam. Jainam, can you maybe you can send an email to support@bigin.com to get more, to get more in-depth information of what exact issue that you are facing, so that we can actually have a call and maybe get that rectified. Can we get the recording is always there. We'll be sending recording. Please share recordings. Bigin providing support to newbie devs if they are facing some issue or stuck in some problem. Yeah, support in the sense, you can, we have a dedicated Bigin developer community. You can post your questions there. If you are stuck up somewhere, you can post the questions there. That community is a very active community. You will get a reply at the max of 1 or 2 days. If at all you are facing any issues, you can send a mail right away to support@bigin.com, and we are always there to help. The related list you build using XML dilute support in mobile. Yeah, this is what we are currently working on. We are actually going to support this in mobile also. As of now, I'm not able to commit an ETA, but surely you can get it in the next 2 or 3 months. This is in active development. Can we have a custom field lookup field with Bigin? Yeah. I mean, sorry, I forgot to what say. Stop பண்ணிட்டேனா எப்படி ஸ்டாப் ஆச்சு sorry, my screen got yeah, I forgot to show one more basic thing. Yeah, we have this field also here. You can create custom fields also. Okay, so for our case, if you have if you need to store the MailChimp ID inside Bigin, let's say I will have a created. Okay, I've created a MailChimp ID field in contacts module, right? So just go to the Sandbox account and see here. See, MailChimp ID field. So, I mean, likewise, you can create a lookup field also from the developer console, right? Yeah. So, is this Sandbox hosted? Oh, no, I mean, it's not like a, local thing. It's actually a production, kind of, what say, it's like a production account, but the only thing is you won't have that production data there. It's like a playground. You can create your own data. For each topping, you will get a dedicated sandbox. So if you create 3 toppings, you will have 3 sandbox accounts. So you can test each of that toppings functionality in each of the sandbox accounts. So it's not a local hosting. It's local. It's hosted on the web. It's publicly available. It's just that the data in production won't appear in Sandbox. When we try to build custom UI and call some third-party API, we'll mostly got a CORS issue. Can you suggest some solution? Custom UI and call. Okay, for this case, what I will suggest is because this is something which is thrown by the browser. So what you can do is you write a custom function. You have this custom function as a REST API thing also. Okay, so if you go here, your functions, just create a function, REST API function. Okay, invoke as REST API. Okay, I'll just save it and close. Okay, so this is a URL that you get while saving this as a REST API. What I will suggest is for the third-party API calls, you actually write that snippet inside this custom function. Okay, you write all your logic there. From your custom UI, you just invoke this this function. Okay, so since this is hosted within Bigin, you won't get a CORS error, and this function will take care of hitting your third-party APIs and getting you the relevant data. Okay. So, try this out. If this, this will work out because we have used this for many of our internal use cases and toppings, so that this CORS error can be avoided. Okay, the IP doesn't of the sandbox is not mapped to do a DNS, right? Does is not mapped to. I really don't get the question, Ahmed. But are you asking if this can be hosted locally? Kind of it can be directed to your DNS. Are you referring something like that? This is hosted within Zoho, just that it is hosted as a separate environment. The webbook you viewed before had a sandbox URL. Put it was written as plain IP. The book you viewed before, which one? No. It's not like an IP. IP won't be exposed anywhere. It'll be a domain. For Sandbox, it's dev-sandbox.bigin.com. If you're referring to this webbook.site, this is not something within Zoho. I just took the help to actually simulate a real server. You won't have any IP bindings anywhere for any of the webhooks or anything. There will be no IP hard codings. It will be mapped to a DNS. It will be hosted on a domain. Yeah. So I think, I'll last one more question. In custom widget creation, how we can deal with token refresh problem when integrating Bigin? Yeah. So if you are using this custom widgets and UI, you need not worry about this OAuth and all. As I already mentioned, you have this JS SDK, right? So we have simplified that. So if it was like to create this token and everything from the UI, it will be like a security issue because this browser code is accessible to all. So anyone who can access the token from the browser can actually exploit your account. So what we have done is you use this SDK, you need not worry about this token and all. For all the APIs, we have wrapped it and given it as SDK functions here. So if you want to create a record, you can go and use zoho.bigin.api.insert record. So this will return a promise. This will take care of this authorization part and all. So this is actually hit from the client. So this is not to be worried upon by the developer. You just need to use the SDK, use these inbuilt functions here. This will take care of hitting the APIs. Okay. Yeah, just one last question here. But if you use external hosting and use backend language, then we can't use SDK functions. No, it should not be the case, Shreya. Even if you are using an external hosting, you can use this JS SDK because because this is not something which is if we have built like that, then it'll be hard for external developers to actually embed this. If you are facing issues in that, maybe you can send a mail to support@bigin.com. We'll have this check, but it should not be like this. JS SDK will work with any type of hostings. Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah. So we actually planned for 1 hour. It's almost 1.5 hours now. I hope this webinar has given you some kind of knowledge to get you started. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for your time. Over to Harveen now.
Thank you everyone for attending this session, and thank you Satish for those amazing insights. Like he had mentioned, if you have any other question or queries, you can reach out to us at support@bigin.com at any point. We'll also be sending out a recording of this webinar for your future reference. Thank you so much for attending this webinar and have a great day.